Hey,
Blessings.
how goes it?
Everything is good. Everything is good. Yeah, it's a Sunday, Cannot complain.
So
How are
we're here,
you?
we're here. Hey, Stacey. Yeah, yeah. It's been a bit of a
Blessings
humdinger,
monster month.
actually. Hey, I like that name. That's heavy, isn't it? I love
Monster
that.
month. Movement.
I love that. I love that. Hey, everyone.
Hey, Joseph. How you all been feeling? How's the eclipse season been for everyone?
Yeah,
You
please,
know?
please write some stuff in the comment. Has anybody been having any Mercury retrograde um issues with like technology and stuff or delays? The vibe's been so great at the same time because it's been mad powerful.
hmm
Like that eclipse energy was mad powerful, but the downloads and all of that, no joke. See, rough. I hear you.
hmm
Yeah, Stacey's saying rough. It has been like just things coming up to the surface, downloads, and it can come in
hmm
different ways, like I've been saying. So some people just been feeling a little bit tired. Some people's been like having runny noses, and I'm like, yeah, that's all. That's you soon find out what that's all about because you get worked on certain times, and you don't even
hmm
realize you just feel like all zapped or you just feel whatever. And then my work on you. You get what I'm trying to say? Like
That
making
is
these
it.
calls so they can do what they need to do. So it won't last forever, guys. Right?
That
It's
is
all
it.
good. Hey Lisa.
Officially wiped out, but ready to move. That's all you could do. It's like a purge. That's what I think of it that's going on right now. It's like we're being forced to go and bring the deeper issues to the surface. You know, Guys, one thing I always say, it's about loss. If you push forward the loss for yourself, the universe sometimes it will still beat you. Let me say this straight up. But sometimes you're able to just deal with the negative emotions by doing more introverted things. Sometimes when the universe in Mercury retrograde seasons and the universe is really, hitting you, just go into yourself sometimes and go into your space because as you clear out the physical, you're also clearing out the spiritual as well. That's one thing I go to. It might not work for everybody, but that's something I've been going nitpicky with a lot of different things in myself, in my character, and saying, nope, I want to be like this. This needs to be done like this. Planning, because I feel this weight over me.
Yes, man. Jeez.
I plan.
Yes.
You plan and just clear out the energy and it will pass, and you'll be stronger because you'll still be moving with the same power you had when in the weighty period. When the weights are off, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can move
Yeah.
at 100 miles per hour at the moment because I've had so much weight on me before. Yes, Lisa, it has been a while. It has been a while. So
I
should
love
I
that.
start?
Yeah, man. Run that. Run that. Let's go.
So yeah, guys. So today Mercury goes into Taurus. So as we know, it was retrograding and it was at the beginning of Taurus. It was in the beginning of Gemini. Now it's gone back into Taurus. So all of those things and the connections now, Mercury being a mutable air sign, no, sorry, Taurus being a fixed earth sign is telling us to be more stable in our thoughts, be more practical. It's just come out of that with the new moon and the full moon. And so there was things that could have been revealed that we was acting on, but then the universe is pulling us back to review at this moment in time. Review how you are eating, the things that you do with your finances, anything that is practical, pragmatic, looking after the body, etc. These are the things that Mercury will be focused on at this moment in time. It also would be quite introverted as well. So, try to avoid pushing the feelings or the thoughts of yourself onto others in this time because that's where you usually get a lot of static because it's saying, no, this is about you, but the universe will reveal that in many different ways. Nowadays, in this particular period, it will be quite practical and it could also be deep thoughts as well because the last full moon was with Scorpio, right? And Mercury at that time was trining off against Pluto. So it got very deep. And so now it's going back into that energy, back towards the same space. It's getting more and more deep. It's looking at the smaller things. And Pluto again will be about transformation. So during the retrograde, it's already going inward, and then you've got the Pluto energy, which is deep transformation, spiritual awakening. This will be what we will be thinking on, will be what we are focusing on, but then making it very practical. So it's not just the ideas now. What can I do in the practical? Is there, do I need to set aside some money for this? Do I need to plan for that? Because I've got this weight of responsibility over my head. What do I need to do to make sure that I can, move forward when the retrograde ends and it goes back forward? And it does end, I think, on the 30th. On the new moon, I believe it ends around that time. So, it does give us that new start, forward thinking sort of energy. So, yeah, then we've got Mars on the 25th that is going into Aries. So it's coming out of Pisces. As you know, this was the warrior being the musician, Pisces being a mutable water sign. Now it's going into a cardinal fire sign. So a lot of energy, a lot of action, doing things that you want, being let's see, being not selfless, but being full of yourself in this time. Almost step away from doing things from a lot of others during this time. Use your energy to act upon your will, because that's what the fire is about. It's about spirit, it's about will. You need to really fill yourself with that energy and push forward. Things to watch out on is burnout during this time. Make sure that you rest during these times. I've been feeling it's harder to rest even coming up to the period. So I know how hard that could be, because there's a lot of action orientated energy that is saying work, work, work. But use that energy to move forward. Depending on where it is, you could get frustration or irritation regarding where it is in your house. So always remember to know your birth chart and check out where Aries is in the birth chart. Peace, Thunderpath. And check out where it is in your birth chart to recognize where this irritation or frustration could be. But again, this is the energy that pushes us to change. So although it is frustrating, it's known as a malefic planet. Using that energy is just acting on that topic. So it was in my fourth house, for example. It was my home. So as I said, I was doing a lot of things. I was frustrated, like things are breaking. That's what Mars does. It will make things break. So 2-3 things broken. I was like, cool, having to pull out the screwdriver, everything else. And then that took me on a path of just trying to do everything that I could do. That's the Aryan energy. It frustrates you, but it pushes you to grow if you then harness that energy and you use it. And then Venus on the 28th will be going into Taurus. So Venus is coming out of Aries, going back. Yes, Adiola, good to see you all here. Oh my days. So Venus is also going into Taurus as well. Venus is about love and values. And going into Taurus, it rules Taurus, so it's a very strong position. It's about stability. It's about the practical things. It's about good food, practical connections. It's about making sure what you love is stabilized. So you may have started new things, but then when Venus goes into Taurus, it's like, I want this to be stable. I want this to be practical. I want this to be long lasting. Venus in Taurus, it's, love by loyalty. Stable, I will stand by you. So what do you want to stand by? What do you want to build? How are you going to show love in that way as well? So the sun will be out, going to restaurants, this is sort of the energy that Venus will be giving us. Is go on a date walking down, you know, a field or go into this restaurant. This is a good time to be ensuring that you're getting that love. Venus, when you're going through your seventh house. Ooh, okay. Okay. That could really bring like your partner to you, you know, love, whatever it is. If it's in your, oh, almost slipped my thing over. If it's in the seventh house, you can get blessings when it comes to those, your partnerships, you know, even business partnerships at that time. From it's in the seventh, um, if you was in a seventh house perfection year as well, it's almost like guaranteed. You know, you're something good and blessed will be coming your way, you know, if it's going through the seventh. Um, so yes, and that's all of the aspects that are happening this week. Do we have any questions, guys? No, it don't look like there is. Do you have anyone who wants to maybe add to that as well? Maybe how they've been going through the period. How about you, actually, Charlene? What was your comments? Yeah, I know. It's been one of
Ah.
those weeks.
So people, it's been a wonderful bit of a roller coaster. If I'm keep it
Mm,
all the way a buck. The full moon in Scorpio eclipse was extremely powerful. Y'all guys missed out. You better come to the next one. They're joking out the business. Yeah, it was extremely powerful. And I left feeling off of that call, feeling really, really empowered. And like you were talking about, Daryl, about things being illuminated and feeling things and things coming to the surface and the frustrations and all of that. I was going through some different kind of downloads, and it was not in the way that I usually have them. So I was really out of sync. I felt out of, yeah, it's like my sleep pattern was messed up. I got drawn into a very deep, deep sleep. I didn't even hear my bubs, and that's not normal. I'm mummy, I hear baby straight away. So for a Buddha to be like, yeah, you were sleeping deep, like Bubba was I said, I didn't hear my baby. That's not normal. You understand? So
mhm,
I know I was deep in. Wherever I was taken quite deep in. And it was quite frightening in the first instant, because I was just like, what's all this? Where you taking me, kind of thing. And then I sort of just, you know, and then it was just like a thing where the conscious mind just kind of just, and then I was gone, you
mhm,
know, and I was
mhm,
just having so many downloads, like I was saying to you, Daryl, and it felt like I was in a council and I was talking to many different people, and everybody had their little 2 pence to add to my life and what I'm here to do. So I
mhm,
came out of it quite fuzzy headed. It took me like at least a day and a half to get halfway back to my kind of jovial self. I was very
mhm,
fuzzy headed, so it meant that I had to get a bit more intentional. It showed me some of the things that I've kind of been skirting around the surfaces around. It's sort of like, yeah, it's all right, good, gather the information for now, but don't sit on your hands for too long. So
mhm,
it's the balance that's been going on, and I've been finding it quite difficult because I don't like to be heavy, do you know what I mean? But it is, I know it's necessary. I know it's necessary. But it's
mhm,
been quite difficult because I don't, it affects everyone else in the house, you know? You know what
mhm,
I'm saying? Women's energy ain't no joke. Everybody's energy ain't no joke. But you know, in the household, when the mom ain't, yeah, I'm saying, like, it's everyone's kind of treading on eggs. Yeah. And then you feel bad that everybody else is sort of like, you know, but I
mhm,
can't help the feeling, and I just want to quail everything, and I just want to grab everybody up and be like, it's not you, it's me. And it really mean that it's me, it's not you guys. I just need to work out what's going on within me before I can deal with anybody else. So it makes full sense that we're moving into that space where we're saying it's not about everyone else, it's about being, you know,
mhm,
you centered, you at the center of it. Because if you don't have everything that you need, how best are you
mhm,
going to support everyone else? It's not going to
mhm,
be the same oomph, and it's not going to have the same vigor, and it's not going to have the same, you know, amount of juicy jubblies. But then on the flip side, it's been very sensual and it's been very expressive, and I've been enjoying my damn self. So
a flow.
there's a, I'm telling you. So yes, it's amazing, but I'm finding my balance. And as the time progresses, I'm just noting down all the things that come up, because it's straight observation. Straight observation. And I have been a bit of a shookhead, and that's what's shown to me, and I'm like, so I need to stop being shook and do certain things, which I will do and have been kind of working to, kind of sat it down like, chill for a bit. So it's like, that's enough of that now. So I'm chilling until I get that next burst, and I feel like it's coming, but I'm information gathering right now. So that's kind of where I'm at in relation to what you were saying about the placements and the aspects. Do you get what I mean? So it makes full sense what you're saying. Yes, people. Yeah, there is a lot to learn. We are all learning bit by bit. Yeah, there is no magic tonic we have to go through, you know what I mean, the actual journey itself, because it's wisdom. You know, we always say we want wisdom until we're put in a situation where we have to wield a certain part of our nature or our power, but in a more organized way. You know what I mean? It's like, what did you learn? That's the wisdom. You want the courage. It's going to put you in situations that are going to call for you to pull some stuff out of yourself that you probably didn't even think was in there. You know, and those are the things that's quite difficult. So I want all of these blessings, but I got to go through the fire first. So certain time it feels a bit like, oh man, but it is for our greater good at the end of the day. And now that I know what it was for, it doesn't feel so bad. But at the time, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I was woolly headed. I was moany pony, and yeah, it weren't the one. It weren't the one. But we are getting there, you know. So yeah, Daryl, that's where it's been at me.
No, it's been the same, you know. I think Stacey said that she's been finding it hard to come back out of the feeling. I would say don't try to come out of the feeling, try to use it, you know. Yeah. That's my thing. I just do stuff. You know, it's like, all right, I know what my healing process is, I know my timelines usually. If I'm thinking about certain things, if things are being shown to you, like you're not good enough, and all of these other darker thoughts that come out, it's important for you to look at why that is coming out. Sometimes it's completely unwarranted. Sometimes this is Saturn, you know, the Lord of Time and Ambition, pushing you to do something. And he's saying, I am not accepting your excuses. That is...
I'm telling you! Sorry, go on. That hit me in my chest. Yeah. Go ahead, Darren.
And sometimes that's what the heavy feeling is. It's like a Saturn heavy feeling. I've got 5 planets in Saturn, so you know I know this feeling well. And it's all it's doing is saying do stuff. And so look at what it is. Meditate. Understand that the not feeling good enough is a lie, but what it's revealing for you to do is not a lie. Yeah. But it's taking away that negative emotion from it. Usually it's time. Time is the greatest healer with something like Saturn, but also taking it on in whatever way it is. Just say, okay, I'm going to try to take it on as best as I can whilst I'm doing everything else. And then eventually you just feel good about yourself because you're like, oh, okay, cool. I needed to do this, or I needed to put this away, or I needed to speak to this person. I didn't want to speak to them. And then you get it out of the way. And then all of a sudden you're like, whew, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought initially in my head. You know, that's what I would say. That heavy sort of feeling was coming from Mars also being in conjunction with Saturn for a time. You know, then it was in conjunction with Jupiter, which expanded that energy. And now it's kind of going out, but it's very heavy as it's moving across the barriers, especially with Saturn now getting ready to go retrograde. But yeah, that's my 2 pence with that heavy feeling, guys. You know, get into yourself and just do the stuff no one else will see. Do it for you. And then Saturn usually says, yes, what you do in private is what takes you to be strong when you're outside.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
good to yourself, folks. I know it ain't easy. That was such a good breakdown, Daryl. Thank you. And like I said, every time I'm able to do a connection like this, I get the clarification of what's been going on with myself as well. So although I may have my own messages and my own way of things popping up, the synchronicity is amazing because sometimes you just need to know you're not the only one. And I know for some of
Mhm.
you in here, just hearing this today has sort of made you go, oh, okay, so it's not just me. Okay,
Yep.
do you know what I mean? Because you can internalize that as I'm regressive, or I'm not,
Mhm.
I'm not growing, or I feel stagnant, and that's further from the truth. It's actually something that
Mhm.
is illuminating to you. To, like Daryl said, use the energy, use it. You know what I mean? And like he said, it doesn't have to be a public thing. It's the things that are hidden. It's the things that are going on behind the scenes. You know, like even myself, I'll even give you like a little tidbit before I go into my cards. After I came out of my little woo-woo thing, and I was just like, the hell is that? Like I allowed my body and allow my mind to just be in that space. I didn't force myself to feel better, although I felt awful. I had to tell my partner, I told my son was like, what's wrong with you? Your energies or something. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm out of sync right now. I feel out of sorts. I'm going to work it out. Just give me some time. Da, 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 da. And then when I realized it was going into the next day, I said, no, sir, me write down what I'm releasing just to lift up my energy. You know, it's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. I am receiving energy. I am receiving information that is going to support
Mhm.
me later. I'm releasing anything that does not serve the extra dense energy that's making it slower for me to get there. I'm releasing that. So you can do those things in the background. You know, and it doesn't mean you're disregarding. Like I said, give it the time. I gave it the time. It showed me what I needed to see. And I said, right, if I don't get it now, I will do. And I just had to let it go. Because sometimes we
Mhm.
want to know exactly what everything means in that moment. And sometimes you need some time to sit on it. Or someone comes around and says that thing that makes it be like, that's what it was. Yeah, the Most High has a beautiful way of just sending the right people to say the right thing at the right time. And it's just like, I hear you. That makes sense. You're talking to me
Mhm.
right now. So that's the kind of energy. So yes, do the background stuff, yeah, bit by bit. And let's see what I've gone for these cards, and let's see what they're saying for us with this weekly forecast. Because woo, it's all right, people. It's gonna be all right. What messages do you have for the Insta family? What is the vibration? What messages do you have for the Insta family? Okay. Right, so the first card that has come out is Clear Your Mind. So that's the last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind. So again, it makes sense. Like I said, things are coming up. So then you can work out what's yours, what isn't, what the messages are, what you be in. So like with that Saturn energy that you was talking about with this, go on, do it, do it. You know what I mean? Maybe it's clearing all the other things around it so that you can be intentional about that one thing. Give it its due diligence, give it its time for reflection. You know, like I was saying earlier when I feel like I'm in data gathering mode, you know, so it's like, although the planet is pushing me to do stuff, it's like, yeah, well, that and that ain't sorted out. So, you know what I mean? Let me clear these two and two things out of the way and then I can do that because I don't want to do it half-hearted. So a part of that is clearing your mind, sometimes clearing the negative baggage. And then like you were saying about how the planet's like, I ain't trying to hear it, says. So that's possibly what's clearing as well. All of the things that you want to tell yourself, like I like the way you say them pretty little lies that we tell ourselves to make ourselves feel better in situations where it's like, no, maybe this and maybe that, maybe I'm not quite ready. And maybe the energy saying, well, you are, just clear out some of the other funk. So allow your brain to be cleared, allow your mind to take some space for reflection and observation. And then we have here new moon in Pisces, attuned to the divine. So again, in that clearing mind time, you can be specific about that. You can say to your spirit guides, I feel disconnected or I feel out of sorts. I need to rebalance. I'm needing support in this area, you know, and that's where a lot of your extra energy will come from. When you're attuned into divine, divine's already in tune to you. It's when you kind of step out of this. It's like when you step out of yourself and you almost take on the negative stuff that's in your mind and then you take yourself out of that divinity space. It's like you demote yourself to just being a human. Whereas the duality is we are divine beings having a human experience. So one can't exist without the other. But in the mental space, we can demote ourselves to just being mere mortals, and we just go through the flow of life, and life just boxes us all left, right, and center, and we like we don't have no say in it. And that's not the case. We are divine beings ourselves, so we can affect the change that we want to see. Yeah, but it's that connecting to divine and remembering to get back into yourself. The lower self and the higher self reconnecting and saying, oh, we are one, even at the low times. You know what I mean? And then when we jump back up to feeling optimum now, it's like, yeah, but there is that balance going on as well. So in tune to divine, allow your mind some space to clear. We also have first quarter moon in Pisces, honor your feelings. So again, don't squeeze them down. Don't try to pretend like it's not happening. Honor your feelings because it's telling you something. If you're feeling less than, then you're going to be put in situations so that you can remember that you aren't. Maybe other people come for your advice, or maybe they just want to be in your company. If you weren't, anybody, then why do people want to be around you? Why do they seek healing from you, or they are inspired by you, and this is it. Honor the feelings. You are going to be finding other things out about yourself that might feel less than comfortable. But honor the fact that that uncomfortability is giving you an opportunity, whether you want to lean straight into that feeling and be that person, or make your little tweaks, and that's kind of where it's coming from. And then we have full moon in Scorpio, which we just came out of. And it's breathe through the tension. So it's all good. Breathe through the tension, folks. Breathe through the tension. Honor the feelings, attune to divine, and allow the mind to clear. And that is all in alignment with what we just spoke about. And I love when that happens, because it's just like, yeah, man, real talk. Clear the mind, give yourself some space to work out what's what. Allow divine to move through you. And then this breathe through the tension makes so much sense with the frustration people are feeling with this extra energy. And for some of you, it's like, where's this come from all of a sudden? Pardon, I was doing great. I was working on this. I was feeling hopeful. And then I almost felt like I was knocked back down to earth with a bit of a bump, But like I said, it's really about honoring that feeling and getting yourself to, you see, this feeling left out. Yeah, we've got Five of Pentacles. Someone's feeling left out or isolated, not fully understanding what it's all about. It's like people seem to be on a wave that I'm not on. What is this wave that people are on? And maybe you're not on this wave because you're not meant to be. You have a different perception to bring to the table. Sometimes we always feel like, if we're not up to the time with the trends, or, we don't know what's going on in the wider world, people are like, where the hell have you been, under a what rock? And it's like, no, I've been doing what I need to do. Some of those worldly affairs have got nothing to do with me in this moment. Do you get what I mean? I'm doing me. I'm sorting out my world. But that also can make you feel outside of the loop, But this feeling outside of the loop and maybe isolated gives you that time to clear your mind. And this is what the clarification is. So maybe that space allows you that time to look a bit more deeper into what's going on with you. I want to see what's going on with this attune to divine. What's the clarification for that? Right, see, attune to divine, and then we've got the Hierophant. And we love the good old Hierophant, because the Hierophant speaks of our spirituality. It speaks of whatever we use to lift ourselves out of remembering that we are a part of a great tapestry. We are a part of the great all. And if you can see that there is an ascension path going on. So this is talking about this ascension that is actually happening. It can talk about traditional religions. It can talk about, christenings, weddings. It can speak of things like that, but attuning to divine is where it's at, because realistically, we are all on these stairs at different points, at different times. And sometimes we may need to step back so that we can kind of say, what was that thing that happened before? Let me just go back, review that before I step forward. That way, when I'm moving forward, it's an informed movement. It's not just, I'm just moving because I feel like that's what I should do next. You know, there is, like I said, there's a information gathering, a data gathering that's going on, and divine saying, yeah, we're here. Attune to us. We're going to help you move on this journey. However, it's not going to just be all peaches and cream, because obviously we know we've got a lot of emotions. This Pisces energy here with the first quarter moon in Pisces, honor your feelings. So there is a lot of emotions going on, especially like you were saying, Daryl, earlier on about this, maybe there is some lack of self-worth going on. And all that's going to do is propel you and remind you, and people will come around, and situations will come up, and you can't hide from the divinity. You just can't hide from it, because it will be shone a light. People will just come and be like, so what you were saying about this before, or I really wanted to speak to you about this, or you inspire me the way that even though you're going through some stuff, the way you move through this healing process, I want a bit of your sauce. Then it makes you go, oh, really? Oh, I thought I was just sort of, you know, just slogging through. It's like, no, I see you. And remember, Source Divine and all of your ancestors are working in your in the background for your greatest good. So don't feel like your hard work and your effort is not being seen. You are being seen. They're just giving you more scope to stand where you're at, in tune, and go within a bit more. Work with the feelings opposed from repelling them. Because you repelling the energy just sort of means that you haven't really sat into it and worked out what it's really all about. No one wants to sit in bad feelings for long, and that's not what we're saying. But give it its time, so it can reveal to you what it means, why this is happening to you. So let's work out what this honoring the feelings are about. So again, yeah, honoring your feelings. We are at a rebirth stage. This is the Empress. This is someone who's gone through so many different things. This is the wisdom. She is the wisdom in the deck. This can talk of rebirth. This can talk about literal birth, birthing something new. So these are all of the plans that you've been planning. Who are you becoming? What's happening? You know, how are you showing up in the world? You've got the world in her tummy. So it's about that vision and that wisdom of self at the same time. So honor your feelings, especially those ones that are, you know, where you feel like, yeah, I can do that, you know, and you might feel a bit bossy. Yeah, be bossy with it. If you feel like, yeah, actually, I feel that I could do this at a really good rate, then lean into that feeling. That's why they're saying honor it. If you get that feeling that, you know, I'm going to use my wisdom to support other people, then go ahead and do that. You know, that's not there for no reason. However, there may be some confusion because there's a lot of information coming. That is why we've been asked to clear our minds. The Seven of Cups, if you can see this person kind of, oh, I don't know what to pick up first. I've got quite a lot. And remember, if you've got a lot of things going on, then give thanks and praises. So you have a lot of skills and abilities, but you have to then clear your mind, honor the feelings, and the highest excitement is what you go with. The thing that makes you feel like, this is a bit of me. This is a bit of me. You know, this is the thing. That is what's going to help you get out of this confusion, because there's a confusion energy around what's meant to be. So allow the time for the mind to clear. Then you can work out what cup you're going to pick up. And this is, again, emotions again. You know, so this is prioritizing what needs to be dealt with at what time. You get what I mean? So, and a lot of this emotional stuff is coming from Six of Cups energy, your past. So again, possibly some childhood stuff, possibly some inner child work. It could even possibly be, you know, things that happened like last week or last month that is informing some real quite serious feelings. Am I going to proceed with someone? Am I going to continue down this path? You know, is this the right career path for me? Is this the right relationship? You know what I mean? Am I giving myself enough? Am I drinking enough water? You get what I mean? You know, maybe I need to eat more healthy. Like for me, I started eating bread again. I need to allow it. Allow it. Yeah, it got bad. It's got bad, people. I got really good at not eating so much bread, and then bought a pack, and it was just like, oh, I remember you, old friend. It was one of those ones. And I went to town, yeah? And I know that's something from my past. I used to just stock up on that certain time. It would be like, that might be the only thing that they're about. And I'm like, I'm going to make this in all kinds of ways. You know what I'm trying to say? So I need to work out that block to this thing. It's like, look, I know that bread bloats me up, but I love it. So I need to then start reviewing again that I'm going back into that space where I'm clamoring onto those things that made me feel like, ooh, jubbly, jubbly, because there's things in my mind that I don't really want to look at yet. So, you know, it's about that honesty space as well. It's about looking at what the past has to reveal about how you're moving now, you know, and possibly if you're looking at your relationships and what they mean, your past will inform the types of relationships that you allow to last longer. Like if your parents were in a relationship that wasn't necessarily loving, but they thrived in some type of way, maybe you might be like, well, they made it work, so I might as well keep it going. He's not so bad, she's not so bad. You get what I mean? And then you can start looking at why you see relationships in that way. And, you know, if there is a feeling of a lack, then it's going to have to be pushed to look at, maybe this old relationship status thing isn't my programming. And maybe I need to look at changing the program and what relationships look like and how I show up in them, you know, so that I'm not emulating my mother or my father or the, you know, the guardians that were around me. Do you get what I mean? Or if you were someone from a single thing, maybe you've got a single-mindedness, like I can do it on my own and I don't need anybody. So the energy that you're pushing out could be repelling exactly what you want, which is that togetherness and love. But because you're used to independence now, it's not that deep, you know, it can kind of play a part in how we're looking at stuff. So be mindful that some of the stuff are from the past, and your informed decisions are coming from the things that you've seen, you know. So things will come up is what I'm saying, and that, I don't know where that came from, but thank you, that was for somebody. I wasn't even trying to go there, but thank you. Just like, huh? But you know, that's for someone. And then let me just go through briefly the tension, and then we'll just get some advice for the moving of the week moving forward. I want to look at the abundance card though. So moving through the tension, it makes sense, folks. Yeah, moving through the tension, and we've got the Tower. When things brought down, didn't Darren not say about the things that was popping down? This ain't working, that ain't working, that's popping down. So it might mean relationships popping down. It might mean, you know, your way of thinking has changed. It's kind of made you feel like, oh, I don't feel the way I used to feel about this situation. And it's kind of taking you out of sync. But it's like, breathe through the tension, keep going, because we know that whatever drops down is meant to happen so that you can see now that big eyesore is out of the way, that big building that could have been a block, you know, that you were comfortable with. Maybe now that this thing has been flawed, you can see clearly now. Standing in the debris of all of what was, now you can start to decide what's going to be. You know, so don't be frightened of things breaking down. It just means that there's space for newness. There's a space for something else that you need. And you may not see it in this moment, so breathe through it. It might feel like, why is this happening to me? Why is things popping down around my ears? Or why are people coming to attack me? Or why do I feel under the microscope? Or I feel like people are just onto me. It's all for you. And whatever's popping down around you, let it pop down, dash it out, start again. Yeah, it's no big deal. Do you get what I mean? Some things with sentimental value you're keeping in a certain cupboard. If you are going to keep it, then start to clear the energy around it as well. So if you've got your Palo sticks, your sage, just go on, sage off everything. If you really don't want to let certain things go because there's a nostalgic, you know, energy around certain things, clear the energy. So at least you know that you're not holding on to the baggage. And this is what this Tower card is talking about, change, you know, in perception. And it makes sense because you said things have been popping around, yeah? So yeah, let it pop down, you hear? And then look what happens. When things pop down, there things happen. 7 of Pentacles. Come on with this. No, things are growing under the surface. Yeah, things are budding. You know, you plant the seeds, you know, of what you want for your future and your stability. 7 of Pentacles. Pentacles are about your stability, this physical world. So you will start to see things just falling into place quite, you know, effortlessly, especially when things have been brought down and you didn't have to brought them. Do you know what I mean? It's all like, oh, look at how that's starting to work, or look at how this person's come up and wanting to work with me on this, or, you know, so things will come come to a more rounded way of looking at things. I just want to go into the abundance oracle before we close out. Look at that. God is your source. Everything you need is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorway to receive it. In God, there is no lack or limitation. Rather, there is plenty of abundance to share. See, so it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that there is source here. The source is, this is why I was talking about connecting to divine. So you can remember again, tune to divine. Remember, everything is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorways to receive. In God, there is no lack or limitation. Rather, there is plenty of abundance for all to share. There's enough, folks. There's enough for all of us, and we can keep tapping in to that divine. And I'm loving the fact that it went back to that, you know, after the clearing of the mind, attune to the divine, honor your feelings, breathe through the tension. Yeah, there is no lack. There is no lack. There is only experience, and there is love and peace, you know. So lastly, I'm going to go to the animal spirit deck, because I've been looking at her and she's just been like, are you going to pick me up? I'm going to pick you up. Let's get some advice for the folks for this week. What advice you have for oh, thank you for the Insta family. Oh, lovely. Okay, so the first one we've got is lion spirit, be generous of spirit. Yeah, be generous of spirit. Share. Like it said, there's enough to share. Abundance. There is share, you know. Share what you have. Share your knowledge. Share your journey. Yeah, it's just about being generous, not holding everything back. Although when we get to that space where it's about ourselves, share in a way that's not going to take away from who you are and what your aim is. Sometimes we want to assimilate into what everybody else wants, and that's not always necessary, not necessarily the energy we're going for. So be generous, give, let people see, feel, you know what I mean, be inspired by you, you know, love on you and take from you, do you know what I mean? And you're also giving, so there is a receiving energy going on. So be generous, because it's infinite source going on here, folks. Infinite. So you ain't got to worry about, what if I don't have anything left? You will be given what you need. The energy will come. We've got dog spirit here. Be loyal to what you love. Yeah. So be loyal to your projects, the things, the people, you know, around you. Be loyal to that. Be loyal to what it is that makes you feel good. So be loyal to what you love. And then lastly, stag spirit, take the lead. No matter wait from anybody, take the lead, you know, take the lead in maybe forging a new way of doing something. Take the lead in having that conversation, making that move, you know, so that you're not just waiting on anything in particular. Obviously, you want to connect with divine, but that's a given. Connect once you know what you're going to do, then it's like, go ahead and do it. Because look what's been moved out of your way, the tower. So all of the blocks have been moving out of your way for you. So then you can start making this next level. So take the lead, yeah, folks, in your own time. Remember, clear your mind, attune to divine, honor your feelings, and breathe through the tension. But with all of that, still make the moves that you want to move that you need once you've taken that time for introspection and rest. Okay, and then you can take the lead on what it is that you want, and don't be waiting on nobody. Okay, folks. So yeah, man, that's the energy. That's the energy for the week, guys. Quite a mixed bag still. Very emotionally charged. There was a lot of emotion cards there.
We've been getting loads of comments as well. And did anyone have any questions that they wanted to ask? For me, I thought it was spot on. You know, especially, I actually wrote it down. The things that are breaking down, looking at things of your past, and then the rebirth that we are going through. That's what I feel has happened for for me in a sense of, completely changing certain things have just left my life that were a part of, which came from the eclipse, changing work, other decisions. I said, nope, I'm not doing it anymore. This is how I'm operating. Has felt like that time of rebirth, going into myself and transforming all of the energy and saying, this is what I said I want to do. And what do I need to change, which seemed good at the time of making that decision? What have I needed to change to move forward, to be able to go forward with power, And that's what I feel has been really, expressed as well. So yeah, it doesn't look like we've got much questions. So guys, we've got the next, we've got the next meditation next Sunday at 9 p.m. We can do Monday since we're all here. If anybody wants to either do it Monday or Sunday, let us know which one you'd want to do, which one is best. Otherwise we'll do it for Sunday at 9. Links are in the bio as well. A recording is provided with all of them as well. So even if you can't make it on the day, you will be sent a recording as well. But yes, looks like this is the natural end. Sundays are so much better for me. Thank you. Okay, cool. Got to vote for Sunday. I like Sunday 9 o'clock as well. Setting up for the week.
Yeah, we
And
could even do a little poll thing as well. That'd be good. I might put up a poll and see what happens. But Sunday seems great. 9 p.m. is a good time. Lovely, 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 lovely. Yeah, man, I look
perfect.
forward to you. And all the links are in the bio, and
Mhm.
what was I going to say as well? Those who are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe,
Yes.
subscribe. And yeah, just have a look out for what's actually available. And Daryl and I have got the readings, so come down for that.
Mhm.
And Daryl's got the coaching on Smash, so definitely look about what Daryl's doing because he's doing big things. And we're just making so much more plans for the future. So I'm just looking forward to just connecting with you guys a lot more. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the new moon. It's new moon in Gemini, is it not?
Yes.
Amen.
No, good time.
Love you
Good
right
time.
back, Lisa.
And remember, guys, you are perfect by design.
Amen.
Uh,
Big up
Blessings.
yourselves.
Big up yourselves.
Yeah.